Great. So, well, very good morning, guys. So, last day we just been talking about how to load multiple tables into a data set. And in this process, I just been explained to you how to bind the tables to the data set. The two tables we just bound to the data set now, right? So we loaded two tables and bound the two tables to the data set in this process. The two tables are bound to the data set. Sorry, the two tables are loaded into the data set. After loading the two tables into the data set, one of the things we have done is we have just gone for um, where we stopped it. We just loaded one table from Oracle and one table from SQL, right? Yes or not? One table from Oracle and one table from SQL Server, the SQL. There are two tables what we just loaded. Now what next? After loading the two tables, we have loaded one table into one grid view and one table into another grid view. Let's run. Loading multiple tables. This is the first example I shown you. And now we are working on loading multiple tables into multiple tables into a data from different data sources using data adapter. Using what? Different data adapters, not one data adapter. What is it? Using different data adapters is what exactly we are planning now. Okay, not by using a single data adapter. And to do that, what did I do? I just loaded you the two tables here. One table is loaded from Oracle and one table is loaded from SQL. Yeah, you can just see both the two tables are loaded. Both the two tables are loaded here. Now, look. Just a minute. Just a second. Now we have two grid views. Now on the top of each grid view, guys, I want to place one button. On the top of each grid view, I want to place one button. Like one button for saving the data to Oracle and one button for saving the data to SQL. Is that clear? So let me do that. On the top of the grid view, let us place a button. So I'm placing a button here. I want this to be on the top of the grid view. And be careful when you're placing this, basically, I just want it on the top now. When you want this on the top, what happened? Property window not loading. Now I'll go to the properties and I'll say doc. So that's on the top now. But problem is this is going to overlap the grid view. It will overlap the grid view. Why? Because you already know that when you are docking, you said dock fill for the grid view, and when you said dock top for the button, already grid view as dock fill. The grid view as dock fill. So the button cannot sit on the top. No, the button cannot go to the top of it. What placed first, that will be the first preference here. So grid view is placed first. To resolve it, what you'll do is, just a second. First, employee nothing. First button, afterwards grid view. That's all. First button, afterwards grid view. Okay. See now, I deleted the grid view. Now what is the button first? Button. Now afterwards, grid view. So now overlapping one comes. See that. The two buttons on the top. The designing basically plays a very crucial role here. When you're designing, all these things have to be utmost taken care. Yeah, we have the two buttons and we have the two grid views. Is that clear? What is this button? This button is save data to Oracle and save data to SQL Server. And all of you, I'm showing you with the two databases. Because you don't have two databases, you load both the tables from the same, or you load one table from Excel and one table from SQL Server, or both from SQL Server only. Okay, so you can just test it like that. Yeah, when I click on this button, what should happen? The data should be saved to Oracle. When I click on this button, data should be saved to SQL. How to? Remember, when you want to save data, what do you require? You require a command builder. You require a command builder. So here I'm creating Oracle command builder CD is equals to new Oracle command builder. What I'm passing to this, the Oracle data adapter. I'm passing the Oracle data adapter. Same like that, here for the second button, what are these guys? SQL command builder CB is equals to new SQL command builder SDA. What is that? Our SQL data adapter. What I should pass is that, oh no, I just given the names as DA1 and DA2. Okay, let's change it. I'll call it as ODA and I'll call it as SDA. Okay, some meaningful names here, nothing. SDA. This is ODA and this is SDA. Wrong names. This is S. This is right here also. Yes. Oh. This is yes and this is O. Okay. So now we're creating the command builder. What next? ODA.update. Update what? Update DS data set. Which table? Sal grade table. Which table? Sal grade table. Here, SDA dot update DS. Which table? Employee. And then I want to display message. Just want to display message here. Data saved to Oracle database server. SQL Server database. Are you clear? So I'm just trying to update. So run. Now I'm adding a new record here, 66001, and here I'm entering 7000. Okay, now 1013. Some new user I'm just going to enter. Vijay. Going to be a salesman. 15,000. You made some changes now, right? Click on, which button you click first, no matter here, anything you can click. I'll just click on this first. Save, data saved to Oracle. Save, data saved to SQL. How to confirm? No need to go there here. Stop your application, run again. If the data is saved, latest information should be loaded. If the data is saved, latest information should be loaded. That's the confirmation for you. Data got saved. Is it clear? So we are done. We have saved the data to Oracle. We saved the data to SQL also. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or not? So this is how you deal with. Like multiple tables. So two different options I just explained you in working with multiple tables. The first option is single adapter multiple tables. When we use the process of single adapter multiple tables, if you are using single adapter multiple tables means mainly your intention is like you don't want to update the changes. You don't want to update. Previous example say I did not update the changes. I used only for searching. Are you clear or not? But now it's a single separate adapter for each table. When do we use this? Two scenarios. One, you want to update the tables, all the tables. Two, when you want to load from different data sources. When you want to load from different data sources. Are you loading from the same data source or different data source now? Oracle and SQL are the two different data sources what I used for loading the data. I hope this is clear. Okay now? Just a second. Okay. So guys, loading multiple tables into add a new form in the project and design it as below. So when you're designing this here, you're just required to be a little bit careful. I'll tell you what carefulness you should have. I'll just tell you, just hold on. So there's a two separate grid views what you're placing now, right? Okay, just a minute. See. While designing, to design, first place a split container on the form. What do you place first? Split container on the form. Which comes with two panels on it. This comes with two panels on it. Are you guys clear? Now place a button. First, what you do? Place a button on each panel. First, to place a button on each panel and set the dot property. And set the dot property of button as top. Did you understand? This is what I said here. While designing, be careful. First, what you should place? Button. First, place a button on each one and just set the place a button on each panel and set the dot property of of the buttons as top. You just set the dot property as a top now. Is that clear? The first thing. Next what? Then add a data grid view control on each panel. Data view grid view control on each panel and set their the dot property of the data grid views as fill now. Now you need to set the doc as what? Fill. That's what I was telling you. Be careful while designing. This is what the care I'm just asking you to take. The two grid view controls should be set as fill and the two buttons is doc top. Okay. Now write the below code. In code view. Go to the code view and just start writing your code. So guys, watch it. Actually, we have been importing three namespaces here. What are the three? Configuration, SQL client, and Oracle client. This is the first thing. We require to import the three namespaces. SQL client, Oracle client, all these things now. Okay. Oh God. What next? In the declarations, what are the things you declared? See? Data set, SQL data adapter, and Oracle data adapter are the things what you added. SQL and Oracle. What next? You're reading the two connections things, creating the two adapters, created a data set and filled both the two tables into the data set. Finally, code and the first one. Code and the save data to SQL Server. Code and save data to SQL Server, button click, event handler. And same way, Oracle, button click, event handler. Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Just a minute. I will upload of here. Yesterday I did not upload the notes now. I think okay. I'll upload of here so that next changes will be next. Okay. After here, I'm just uploading off. So later changes, we'll see. Guys, how about HTML? All of you are doing HTML? You're doing HTML, na? Okay, from Monday morning 7 a.m. Morning 7:15, we are going to start with ASP. Monday morning 7:15, we are going to start with ASP. Uh, mostly by next weekend, we'll finish up C sharp. Mostly by next weekend, we'll finish up C sharp. We came to end. We just will finish up mostly by next weekend, we'll finish up C sharp. Okay? But from next month, Monday morning, we are going to have 7:15 ASP. What you're going to do is first for ASP initially HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. After a month later, then you're required to be familiar with database. Anyhow, database programming you're learning here, but that is still advanced programming. What you'll be learning is still advanced. Okay. Why no, Rahul? Why you're not doing HTML? C sharp. Start here, start HTML. I think there is an HTML batch. Without HTML, you cannot understand ASP.NET. There is some HTML JavaScript class also available. I remember 4 p.m. 3rd August from today only. Start with that. So meanwhile, you'll get an idea. I will explain about web applications. Meanwhile, you will be getting parallel. You will do both the two things. But start with HTML, CSS. Anyhow, next weekend we'll finish up C sharp. Okay, you will not be having much classes. We'll finish up C sharp and SQL also. I think you are doing from Bootstrap is not there. I think in the course content you already check your course content. Okay. Yeah, this is what we have just been done here. Next, the next thing what we're going to learn is about data relation. We are going to learn about a new different concept now, that is a data relation. Data relation is, look at, I'm adding another web. I'm adding a new form. Again, I will add a spec container on it. One more time, a spec container. Okay. And two grid view controls on them. dock it to fill. Actually, guys, when you add a split container, generally when you add a grid view, immediately it will show you an option here, dock in parent container. There only you'll get the option, dock in parent container. If you click on that, that automatically docks. No need again going to properties and doing that. Okay. And here, it'll provide you all the options here also. It will show you when you add it, enable editing, enable deleting, like this, you'll find option. If you uncheck all these options, yesterday I showed you manual in her, you can do like this also. Are you clear? Okay, all these functionalities will automatically come to you. Change the SQL batch. SQL multiple batches will be there. Change your SQL batch. Because if you don't attend the ASP now, again you're required to wait for another 2 months or 2.5 months. Change your SQL batch timings. Just consult your SQL faculty, what is the nearest batch you have for the existing thing, and change to that. Okay. So I just added the two review controls on this now. Now, anyways, I want to load two tables now from SQL only. What two tables? DBT tables or DBT tables here. From SQL only I want to load. Okay. Using system.configuration and using system.data.SQL client. Next. What next? I want two one data set, guys. Data set DS. I want two data adapters, DA1, DA2. And also I'm taking one connection object. Why, sir, when I'm using adapter will create a connection now. What do you need a connection again? I'll tell you. Okay, taking a connection separately, I tell you. Okay. First what? String constr is equals to configuration manager dot connection strings of what, guys? SQL constr dot toString. Yeah, you're reading the connection string. Now I'm using con equal to new SQL connection, and I'm creating a connection object separately like this. I'm creating a connection object. Now DA1 is equals to new SQL data adapter, and I'm writing select star from which table? DEPT table, comma. Earlier, want we pass the connection string now? Yes or not? Just a second. If I am going to create one more adapter here, select star from EMP. If I pass the connection string here, constr, and another connection string constr, adapter 1 will create one connection object, adapter 2 will create another connection object. How many connection objects are created here? 2 separate connection objects will be created now. Suppose you have 10 adapters like this. Each adapter will create you one separate connection now. Resource problem, yeah, like this, you cannot open multiple connections. So to resolve it, what I'm doing now, I'm using the con here. So the con is nothing but the connection what we created. So both will use the same connection. Did you understand my point or not? Earlier, why we did not talk about it? Earlier, we worked with one adapter only. When you work with one adapter, one connection, not a problem. So in the previous example, two adapters, but both are targeting two separate databases. Understood? But now your two adapters are targeting the same database and the separate databases. Then what do you need multiple connections now? One connection will do the job now. That is why they are giving you multiple constructors here. Why did they give you different constructors like this, miss? Depending on the requirement, we will be using the appropriate. You know what we are doing? We are directly passing the connection string there. But now, without passing the connection string, what I passed? On here. So the same connection will be used by both the adapters here. Understood the advantage? Why did they create a connection separately now? Yeah. ES is equals to new data set, And then what we call DA1 dot fill. What? DS comma DEPT table and DA2 dot fill DS comma EMP table. I'm sorry. I think we did not bind the tables to grid. Right? We did not bind the tables to grid here. Yeah. Data grid 1 dot data source is equals to DS dot tables of which table? And data grid 2 dot data source is equals to DS dot tables of EM. Is it clear? Okay, now run. Both the two tables are loaded. You got the two tables. Actually, you got the two tables loaded here side by side. The two tables loaded here side by side. If you want, you can load these tables top and bottom also. One on the top and one on the bottom. How sir? How can I do? Go to the split container properties. Go to the split container properties. See, if you are not able to select the split container here, in the drop down you will find everything here. Select whatever you want. Okay, go to which properties? Split container properties. And here you just have an option of orientation. Vertical, horizontal. Change it as horizontal, and now your orientation is horizontal. Now the two tables has to load top and bottom. Is it clear? So like this, you can just load in the way you just want. Okay, just got the two tables. So these are the two tables. What I just want loaded. Now you loaded these two tables from your database, and do you remember these two tables have a relationship? When we created the two tables, we created a relation between the two tables. What relationship? Parental relation. There is a parent and child relationship between the two tables. Which one is the parent? Department. Which one is the child? Now answer this question. If you want to establish a relation between two tables, what are the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites for establishing a relation between two tables? I want to establish a relation between two tables now. What are the prerequisites? What do you require? Don't whisper here. How many times I should scold you? I'm feeling ashamed scolding you. And you're not feeling ashamed. Speak loud. What are the prerequisites to establish a relationship between two tables? Common fields? How many? Tell it, then be clear. There should be a common field between the two tables, a common column between the two tables. The first thing is you require a common field between the two tables. Yeah, we have a common field between the two tables. What is a common field? Department number or the common column between the two tables. There's a common column between the two tables. These two should have the same name. The two columns should have the same name, right or wrong? Tell me fast. The two columns should have the same name, right or wrong? Wrong here. Who said here? What did you learn SQL, sir? Same name should be present. Same data type should be present, not same name. They can have whatever names you want. I'll confuse you, yeah. You need to answer. Tomorrow interview will ask you, do you say the same, I'll confuse you. You need to come out of it. That's how you need to answer. No, not a common column. Common same name. What is it? Same data type is important, not the same name. Okay, what is first prerequisite? There should be a common column between the two tables with a similar data type. Is that clear? Second rule, second prerequisite. The second prerequisite is the parent table should contain a column. The parent table should contain a column that should not contain duplicate values. The parent table should the column. Okay, common column is there now. Answer this question. What do you call this column in the parent table and what do you call this column in the child table? What do you call this column in the parent table? Louder. Wrong answer. Primary key is a wrong answer. Reference key, not primary key. Every table has a primary key, not primary key. What is it called? Reference key. Sir, is reference key primary key not same? No. Tomorrow, your table can have a different primary key and a different reference key also. Both are not same. Are you clearer or not? My primary key column can be different and my reference key column can be different. The chances are there. So don't call primary key column. What is that? The common column in the parent table is called primary key and in the child table, foreign key. In the child table, what we call? Foreign key. Okay. Now the second prerequisite. Primary key, the reference key column in the parent table. The reference key column in the parent table should not contain duplicate values in it. The reference key column in the parent table should not contain duplicate values in this. So how to avoid it? To avoid it, either impose a primary key constraint on it or a unique constraint on it. Or a primary key if you impose a primary key, your reference key column and primary key column both are same. And another thing, primary key column, that's a wrong terminology, not primary key column. What you should call, identity column. When you're working with the database, the jargon is very, very important. Remember that. One of us is primary key column. It is not a primary key column, a primary key constraint. What you should say? Identity column. Are you clear? And now what you require? You require for establishing a relationship, parent table should contain what? Reference key column. Now, if my primary key column, if the reference key column is imposed with a primary key, if the reference key column is imposed with a primary key, that is only identity and that is only reference key also. But if my reference key is having a unique, then that is not an identity. Remember, identity column will be different then. Suppose you have another column called serial number. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this your story. And now department number. Now serial number is my identity on which I have a primary key now. Department number is my unique. Are you clear? Then reference key and identity are not same. Identity is different. Reference key is different. Right now both are same for us. Our identity, our reference key both are same. But chances are there tomorrow they can be different also. Is that clear? So what is the second prerequisite? The reference key column should not contain duplicate values in it. So either impose a primary key or a unique constraint on it. Third prerequisite. The foreign key column should be imposed with a foreign key constraint. The foreign key column should be imposed with a foreign key constraint, and in this process, you will establish a relation with the parent table. Are you clear? So, reference key column, primary key or unique, foreign key column, foreign key. And see guys, you already created these tables, remember? Yes or not? When you created these tables, you already followed all these rules. I missed off. Yeah. Have a look. You created a first table, department table, and in the department table, we have a department number and there's a primary key. First rule, right? What is the data type? Integer. Now, when you created the EMP table, all of you see department number int. Data types are matching now? Name change of here, no matter. And here what are you doing? You're imposing a foreign key constraint here. You're imposing a foreign key constraint. How? References, parent table, reference key column. References, parent table, reference key column. So you followed all these rules already. Understood my point or not? All the rules are followed by us already in our code. So we just followed each and every rule what we need. Okay. So now these two tables are established with the relationships. Now my second question is, what is the benefit we get by establishing relations between the two tables? Why to establish? Without establishing, you can create two tables now. Did not get you. What is the benefit of establishing relations between two tables? Display. Where are you displaying? You're not displaying here, na? You're not displaying in this table. To display how relationships are required, I don't understand. You mean to say joining? For joining, no need relationships here. For writing a join, did your teacher said there should be a relation between the two tables? For join, no need any relationship at all. If you have a common column between the two tables, you can use a join. Sorry, not common column, matching data, we can use a join. Join doesn't require relationship at all. Everyone thinks like we establish relations for join. That's wrong. When you establish relations between the tables, you get three benefits. When you establish a relation between the tables, we'll be getting few benefits. What are the benefits we get? The first one. The first benefit what you get by establishing a relationship is, listen, the first benefit is, you cannot store a value into the reference, you cannot store a value into the foreign key column, provided that value is not present in the reference key column. Did you understand my point? You cannot store a value into the foreign key column, provided the value is not present in the reference key column. Tomorrow, I'll add a new employee at the department number 50. Is it valid? If relationships are not there, 50 is accepted there. Because relationships are there, 50 will not be accepted. Did you understand me? Second rule. We cannot delete a record from the parent table. We cannot delete a record from the parent table, provided the reference key has corresponding child records in the child table. You cannot delete this if at all it has child records in the child table now. Are you getting my point or not? Okay. Provided you have child record in the child table without addressing what to do with the child records. Means you can delete here, but before deleting, you must tell what to do with the child records. Should I delete them? Are you getting me or not? This is the second rule. Third rule. You cannot update the reference key value of the parent table. You cannot update the reference key value of the parent table when there are corresponding child records in the child table without addressing what to do with the child records. When you're deleting the complete row, when you're updating only reference key value, not name or location. Name and location you can update. Yeah, the problem is only when you're updating the department number, because department number has corresponding child records. These are the three benefits what you get by establishing relations between the tables. Tomorrow, when you asked in interview, why are you establishing relationships? Don't say for joining the tables. These are the three things what you should say. For the first point, you cannot store a value in the foreign key column provided the value is not present in the reference key column. You cannot delete a record in the parent table provided this reference key has corresponding child records in the child table without addressing what to do with the child records. Third rule, we cannot update reference key value. We cannot update the reference key value in the parent table when there are corresponding child records in the child table without addressing what to do with the child records. These are the three benefits what you achieve by establishing a relationship between the two tables. Is that clearer, all of you? Yes or not? Okay, that is the benefit of establishing the relations between the two tables actually. This is why exactly the relationships are established between the two tables. Guys, for you to read, I've given the complete information for you here. Data relation is used to relate to data table objects to each other through data column objects. For example, in a in a DEPT EMP relationship, DEPT table is a parent. DEPT table is a parent table. A table is a parent, and EMP table is a child. We have two tables here now. One is DEPT, and the second one is the EMP. What is DEPT? DEPT is the parent, and EMP is child of the relationship. Okay, this is similar to a primary key, foreign key relationship. Nothing else. Primary key, foreign key relationship. Relationships are created between matching columns in the parent and child tables. Relationships are always created between what? Matching columns in the parent and child table. There should be a matching column in the parent and the child tables. Okay, that is the data type. Already I clarified you. The data type for both columns must be identical. What must be? The data types of the columns must be identical. Okay, next. To use foreign key constraint, we need a parent table that contains master data and a child table that contains detailed data. Guys, understand what parent table contains your master data and child table contains detailed data. What do you mean by that? Parent table contains the information of departments. Child table contains the information of employees working in those departments. Did you catch my point or not? Parent table contains information of departments in the organization. Child table contains information of employees working in those departments. Got the point or not? Okay. Parent table should contain a reference key column. What it should contain? Reference key column with a primary key or unique constraint imposed on it. We need to have a primary key or a unique key constraint imposed on it. And child table should contain a foreign key column. What it should contain? Foreign key column with foreign key constraint imposed on it. With what? Foreign key constraint imposed on it, which refers into the values of reference key column. This is going to refer into the values of the reference key column. Okay, now next. Yeah. If relationships are established between tables, following rules comes into picture. Just now I explained you. What is the first rule? Cannot store a value in the foreign key column of which table? Child table. Foreign key column of the child table, provided the given value is not present in reference key column of parent table. You cannot store a value in the foreign key column provided the value is not present in the parent table. Okay, cannot store a value in foreign key column of child table. Second rule, cannot delete a row from parent table. Cannot delete a row from parent table provided the given reference key value, of the record being deleted has child records in the child table. And guys, understand this carefully. I am not telling this is not possible at all. What I'm telling is, without addressing what to do with the corresponding child records, you can delete here. But before deleting, what you should do? Tell me, what shall I do with your child records? Understood the point? Next, same way, cannot update. You cannot update what? Reference key value of parent table. Cannot update means don't think like other columns cannot be updated. You can update all the other columns. Only reference key value only cannot be updated of the path. Provided the given reference key value being updated, reference key value being updated has what? Child records in the child table. It has the child records in the child table without addressing what to do with the corresponding child records. Are you clear? without addressing what to do with the corresponding child record. These are the three rules that comes into action once after you establish relationships between the tables. Is everyone clear? Understood? Okay. Now, we loaded these two tables from SQL Server. We loaded these three tables from SQL Server. Two tables. Now, I am trying to enter a record 1026. 1026. Pankaj is the name. Suppose clerk reporting to 1001. Leave it. And the salary is going to be something 2000. Department number 60. Is it valid? Or department number 50. Is it valid? No, this is not valid. But still, it accepted. It accepted. I am trying to delete 20 here. Array, deleted. I am trying to update this to 60 here. Updated. All are working. What we discussed is not possible. Everything is working. Why, sir? Because the relationships are now present in the database table. Not in your data table. Not in your data table. When you will face the problem, suppose if I have a save button there, when I click on the save button, the changes will try to update on the database now, then problem will come. Are you clear? Now literally you're wasting the time of the user now. What I'm wasting? When the user is trying to perform an action, if you don't say this is wrong, what will happen? The user will think it is valid. So what did the user do? The user worked on this particular two tables for 1 hour. 1 hour, made a lot of changes on this. Finally clicked on the save button. When he clicked on the save button, it went to database and simply the database said that no, these changes are not accepted, exception will throw and the application will stop. 1 hour of my time you wasted now. Are you getting me or not? So when it is a mistake, why did you allow me to do that? When it is a mistake, why did you allow me to do that? When you are entering a employee department number is 50, why you did not stop me? When I tried to delete 20, why you did not stop me? When I tried to update 30, why you did not stop me? This is all wrong now. You must do all these things when the user is trying to make the changes, not when the user is trying to save. Which one is correct? Well, when making the change or saving the data? When making the change only, you should stop them. But I am not able to stop. Why I am not able to stop? Because these relations, what I said you now, are present. Not here. Where? On the database here. On the database, you have the relationships. Not in the data tables. Database tables have the relationship, not the data tables of data set. So if you want to resolve this problem, what you're required to do, you too can establish relations between the two tables by using the class data relation. You remember system.data has 6 classes in it. Data set we learned, data table we learned, data row we learned, data column we learned, day before yesterday data view we learned, and the 6th class is data relation. The class data relation works like a foreign key constraint. It works like a foreign key constraint using which we can establish relations between the two tables. Are you clearer or not? What we can do? We can establish relations between the two tables. You can do that by using the data relation class. Are you getting me? Understood my point? Okay, to do that, first thing what I want to do is, I just wanted to load the primary key information of both the two tables into my application. The primary key information of both the two tables into my application. How, sir, how will you do that? Array, already I said you that. How? Do you remember when I was explaining about the find method? I said to you, find method works based on the primary key only. You need to load the primary key information into your applications. And to do that, I explained about this property DA1 dot missing schema action is equals to missing schema action dot. Do you remember this? Putting a blank face here, you are practicing or not? I explained you, I described it, I given the notes also for that. If you don't do that, find method will not work. It will load you the primary key information of the tables into your application. Same way, I am loading it for my for both the two tables, I am loading the primary key data. So duplicate values are not accepted in the primary key columns now. Is that clear? All restrictions should be done here. Tomorrow you enter duplicate value, give me a permission, then saving the database, stopping that is wrong now. So restrict everything in the initial only. Okay, done. So this will load you the things. What next? So loading the two tables in the data set. See, the two tables are loaded in the data set here now. After loading the two tables in the data set, I want to establish a relationship between the two tables by using a class called data reader. Sorry, data relation. So let me come here and I will declare a data relation dr. Sorry, data relation dr. I'm creating a data relation variable here. And now watch it, guys. dr is equals to new data relation. You require to pass three parameters for this here. First parameter, some name. What name? Listen, when you are working with foreign key, will you give a name for your foreign key constraint or not? Otherwise, database will give a name now. This is also something like this only. You can give a name of your choice. Any name you like. I'll call it as parent child. Relation name I'm giving as parent child. Second parameter, what I have is, you can pass the parent column information there. You need to pass the parent column information. What is the parent column? ts dot tables of DEPT dot columns of DEPT number. This is the parent column, right? Tell me, what is the child column? ts dot tables of EMP dot columns of DEPT number. Are you clear on how do they create the data list object? Name, parent column, child column. Now, the next step is you need to add it to the data set. How? ts dot, there is a option called relations dot add. Simple English here. What's the statement? DS refers to data set dot relations dot add. Add what? Yeah. So the relationship is added to both the two tables. Run now and watch the difference. (1026). Okay. So I'm just giving some name, Pavan. We'll fill all this detail. Clerk 1001. Some salary 2000. Come here 50. I'm entering a wrong value. Guys, watch it. Now when I'm trying to come out of it, foreign key constraint, parent to child is the name of our thing. Requires the child key value 50 to exist in the parent table. You notice that? And once I click on the OK button, the record gets deleted off. The record gets deleted off. Here problem is only with one change here. If you do it on the database, all changes are lost. Which one is better? Losing one change or losing all changes? That's what. Now I'm entering a correct data. 1026. $40. This is valid here. No error. See, when I come out of it. Oh, duplicate value now. Okay, just I also added a primary key on that. Is constrained to be unique. And 1025 is already present. Yeah. For this reason only, I added you the primary key also. For this reason only, I added you the primary key also. Already duplicate values are accepted. Again, when you go to database, problem will come. Okay. So, Pavan, clerk, 1001, 2000 and 40. Accepted. The change is accepted. Now come here. I want to delete 20. You cannot delete. Can I delete 20? Can I delete this 20? Because it has corresponding child records in the child table. See, for deleting and updating records in the parent table, did you learn this in SQL Server? There are 4 rules. What are the 4 rules? On delete no action, on delete cascade, on delete set null, on delete set default. Same way, on update no action, on update cascade, on update set null, on update set default. In SQL Server, you learned all these things. What is no action? No action means you cannot delete or you cannot update when there are corresponding child records. No action means deletion not possible, updation also not possible when there are corresponding child records. And do you remember this is a default rule in SQL Server? If you don't specify anything, the default rule is on delete no action, on update no action. Okay? Now, second rule, cascade. What is cascade? Cascade means you can delete, you can update. What will happen? If you delete, corresponding child records also will be deleted in the parent table. If you update, corresponding child records also will be updated in the parent table. For example, all of you look now. I am deleting 20 here. All the corresponding records are deleted in this table, see? So why, sir? Because the default rule for our data set is not no action. The default rule is cascade. Our default rule is cascade. In SQL Server, no action. In SQL Server, it is no action, but here it is cascade. So here, if I update this 30 into 60, are you clear? What is the third option? Third option is set null. What is set null? If you delete, corresponding child records foreign key value changes to null. If you update, corresponding child records foreign key value changes to null. That is called as set null. So how do I use that? How do I use that now? I'll show you. How do we use that? Okay, listen carefully. How to use that? Watch. dr dot child key constraint dot delete rule. You can tell the rule what you want is equals to all the rules are defined in a enum called rule. There is an enum called rule, and you have all the 4 rules there. See, cascade, set null, none, set default. What is the default rule? Cascade. Then no need to set cascade again. Then let me set it as set null. Same way, dr dot child key constraint dot update rule is equals to rule dot set null. And one thing I want to clarify, it's not mandatory, both should be same. One can be a default rule, one can be a cascade rule. Are you clearer? Because I'm setting a delete as null, don't think like update also should be set as null. Update I want cascade. Update I want no action. Update I want something, set default. I want whatever I want differently. Is that point clearer, all of you? You can apply whatever rule you want on this now. No issues at all. So create a relationship, set the rule, and add it to the data set. Okay. So run now. What rule is applied? Set null rule will be applied now. See. Oh. I should do it after the relationship is added. First, you need to add the relation and then set the role now. Okay. So fine. Now you see, I wanted to delete. I want to delete 20. When I delete 20 here, set as null, see. I want to update this 10 as 50. Updated to null. Updated to null value. What is the third option? Default. Set default. What is set default? Set default means changes to default value. Changes to, but what is the default value? The default value of any column is null only. Set null, set default are very same when there is no default value. Then when they are different, while creating a table, you learned how to give default value to your column now? Yes or not? If I don't give a default value, what is the default value for a column? No. If you give a default value, then default value will be used. See, when you created the employee table for status, we given default value true. Understood? Now, did I give any default value? No. So what is default value? Null. So now here will be null only. If there is no default value, set null, set default are same. Observe. I'm deleting 20. If there is no default value, set null and set default are same. If I want to see the difference, if you want to see the difference, what will you do now? Set the default value. How to set the default value? Default value for which column? Foreign key column. Array default value for which column? Foreign key column. So ds dot tables of which table? EMP table dot columns of which column? DPT number dot. Understood? I'm setting a default value for the column. What is the default value? 40. Now guys, all of you, if I delete 10 from the table, all the 10s in the table will become 40. Watch. Are you clear? If I update 30 in my table, all the 30s will be updated to 40. Watch. Is that point clearer, guys? Yes or not? That is what. And finally, we have another rule, that is none rule. Dot none. None means no delete, no update. No delete will work, no update will work. You can see now. Error. Cannot delete this row because constraints are enforced on the relation parent-child, and deleting this row will strand child rows. So strand means affects the child rows. Same way, I'm trying to update this 20 as 200, same message. Cannot do this because it has corresponding child records. Are you clearer or not? Now tell me, I want to save the data to database. So which rule should I use now? Cascade ruler, set null ruler, set default ruler, or none ruler? Why? Why cascade? Why not a none rule? Why not a set default? See, which rule to use depends on the requirement. All will not have the same type. Maybe your teacher have already taught in your SQL Server classes to you the different rules and which will to apply then. Okay? But the choice is not for you. The choice is for the database designer. Array, which rule to use is selected by the database designer. When the database designer designs the table, he will choose the rule. Okay now? Now, as a developer, I don't have a choice. What do you mean, sir? What I mean is, as a developer, when I'm using, I cannot use whatever rule I want. I need to use the same rule that is already present on the table. How do you change your rule now? Yeah, the table has none rule. Shall I use cascade? That won't save. Did you understand my point or not? As a developer, you don't have a choice. What rule should I use? First, to find out what rule is present on the table, use the same rule in the application also. What rule should I use on the table? That is decided by the database designer. The database designer chooses the best rule for the tables. Means different tables have different rules. He will select the appropriate rule and he will design it accordingly. And once he designs, as a front-end developer, we don't have any choice. We need to follow the rules that are already existing on the table. Right now, if you want to save this data, if you want to save the data in SQL Server, when I'm creating the tables, I did not define any rules. Because I did not define any rules, what is the default rule? No action. So what rule should I use here? No action. The no action is called none here. The no action is called none. So now see, I used none only. So will the data save to the database? Yes. But if I change to default or cascade or something and try, it won't work. Am I clearer, all of you? Okay. So what works is only the none rule works to you in this case. See, if I want to establish same type of relationships, same type of relations between tables of a data set also, we can do it with the help of data relation class. Understand here, you want to establish a relationship, you're required to take the help of a class. Which class? Data relation is the class what you're required to take now. It takes 3 parameters. What are the 3 parameters? Data column, reference key column or parent column, data column, foreign column or child column. Array, I use the perfect words. What is the other way? Parent column, child column. Perfectly, reference key, foreign key. Next, after creating the object of data relation, it has to be added explicitly to the data set under which the tables are present using relations.add method. How to add? I already shown you. Are you clear? Next. For deleting or updating reference key values in parent table, for deleting or updating, for both these two things. What? Reference key values in parent table. If the reference key value has any child records, if the reference key value has any child records in the child table, some rules come into picture. Actually, it has some child records now, where in the child table, some rules come into picture for delete and update, known as delete rules and update rules. We have 2 things here. One is delete rules. Second one, update rules. So these are the 2 things what we just have here, delete rules and update rules. And these are the 4 delete rules what I explained. First rule, none. What is none? None means cannot delete or update reference key values of the parent table when corresponding child records exist in the child table. These 2 things will not be possible here. What is not possible? Delete not possible. Update also not possible. Yeah, I shown you all the things practically. You read it. I already shown you all the things practically, guys. Okay, read it. Just you read the things on your own. I mentioned it here. All the 4 rules. Just go through the rules what I listed. Okay. Next, see, we need to apply required rule for delete and update explicitly. How to update the rule? How to apply the rule? Rule is enum, don't forget. We need to apply required rule for delete and update operations, on data relation using following statements. Okay, and all of you remember to use set default rule. If at all you want to use the set default rule, we need to set a default value. For foreign key column. How to set a default value for the foreign key column? I've already shown you all the things, and then I'm just giving the explanation for you. Following statement, you use it. Next is example code what I have. Okay. Add a new form in the project. Place a split container on it and change the orientation property of the control as change the split container, change the orientation property of the control as horizontal, so that the panels under the split container will be horizontally aligned. What is the default? Default is vertical. The default is vertical, guys. Remember, default is vertical. Place a data grid view control on each panel. And set the dot property as fill. for both data grid use. You already set for both the data grid use, eh? Yes or not? Okay. Now write the below code under write the below code in code view. I did not give the form design here. Or I give an expression. I had a form. Here's a strict container. Two videos on the at the top. That's it. Is it clearer? Okay. So that's what. Yeah. First, two namespaces to import. Declarations. Four things we declared. What are four? Data set, data relation, connection, command builder. And then come to the form load event and then writing the code in the form load event. All of you observe. Just have a look, guys. Watch it. What the see, watch carefully. You're declaring a data set, data relation, SQL connection, SQL, data adapter, two SQL adapters. Okay, next code under form load event handler. First read the connection string, create the connection object, adapter 1, setting missing schema action, adapter 2, setting missing schema action. Next, data set and load the two tables into data set. Okay, now next, data relation. You're creating a data relation. Basically, data relation takes three parameters. First parameter is key name. Second parameter, reference key column, and the third parameter is a foreign key column. Next, add the relation and set the rules. Guys, do one thing, change those rules. As I shown you, it is none. Change the rules. All the rules and see how it behaves. Clearer or not? And finally, one note here for you. What's it? If at all you just wanted to set the default value, okay, write this code now. What code? This is to set that. See, use the following statement if required for setting a default value for foreign key column. If at all you want to set the default rule, just to use this particular code, guys, so that you can set you can just go for setting a default value for it. Is it clearer? So with this, we covered all the classes of ADO.NET. All classes here. All classes in the sense, just check it out. Data set, data relation, data table, data view, data column, data, we just used the data view, connection, command, adapter, command builder, data reader, all the classes have just been covered up. Okay. Finally, some few things are there. The next important topic is stored procedure calling. We'll deal with this in the tomorrow session. Okay. Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow.